Welcome back to 5D Mystery School. Let's get into it. So last week we left off speaking about ancient mysterious enigmas in the form of disc. Now how is it that these ancient civilizations were privy to this knowledge? Now ancient doesn't mean the absence of knowledge, but how was this knowledge acquired? Were there ambiguous teachers that appeared when the students were ready? Well, throughout history, there have been these mysterious visitors that appear and instill knowledge upon the civilization, and then they just vanish. It's almost as if they were always being watched by a far more superior in regards to intelligence, civilizations, or groups of beings. So, are these bizarre opinions, or do we have evidence to put proof to these claims? Well, let's take a look at some depictions made with the available tools at the time by ancient civilizations. And these depictions convey an omnipresent group of space beings, very intelligent and similar in appearance. I feel like when I see ancient drawings like this, it's only a certain amount of things that come to mind. And to be more specific, one in particular. Moving on, I believe that this is pretty clear and concise. I mean, it looks pretty similar. And although in my belief we might not be going to outer space, I often wonder, when we see these depictions, is it us? Just going back in time? Just something to think about. We're going to tap back into Project Pegasus later. So again, I ask you, where did this technology come from? I mean, you can't go from hunter and gatherer to a rocket scientist overnight. It's like one day you're farming, and the next you have the technology to fly into lower Earth orbit. Moving on, here are two little figurines, and again, very similar. You go from carving animals out of clay to carving this. How do you carve this if you can't perceive it? You need something visual to build from. Now this can either be the sun or an unidentified flying object. This is pretty clear and cut, and these are found throughout the world. You can actually tell by the facial expressions which part of the world that these were found in. It's just certain races have very distinctive facial features. I mean, if you could have saw this in a dream or in real life, and then you make this from memory, I'm pretty sure they didn't just come to say hi. They came to instill knowledge. Looks like pretty advanced technology for that time. That's pretty descriptive. And again, these earlier civilizations didn't have written language. This was their written language, similar to cuneiform, used by the Sumerians, who depicted these men in what looks like flying machines. But that's a lecture in itself. But they weren't alone. In fact, there were statues and figurines depicting these reptilian-looking beings. Very descriptive. Who were they? And where did these clay models appear, if it was clay? Why isn't this more known throughout society? Clues were left. One more thing I want to touch on with these reptilian beings is that we often see them in Hollywood productions. And if you know how the ambiguous they work, then you know the truth is often hidden in plain sight. You don't have to look far. You just have to know how to see, because they're expecting you not to. I mean, oops, wrong photo. Just use your pineal gland and you'll understand. So, who are these mysterious visitors? Where did they come from? And you have to ponder, if we're in third dimension right now, then what dimension were our predecessors in? One may argue that they were more spiritually advanced, and their technology was based on spirituality. Whereas in modern times, ours is just for mindless entertainment. Ain't gonna lie, it is fun though, but I stay away. And our technology is surpassing our spirituality. And you can see where we're headed with that. We could learn a thing or two from the past. I mean, we can literally visit. We're not going to get that deep right now. I'm going to park it here and see you next time.
5D Mystery School.